Good morning folks, this is Naeem Aslam, Chief Market Analyst at AvaTrade. Welcome to our daily fundamental video analysis. European markets are trading to the downside. Why? Because they are under the influence of two major factors. Firstly, is the economic numbers. The UK retail sales number came out and they missed the forecast by a large margin. This is why the FTSE 100 index is trading massively to the downside. As you can see from the chart, that yes, there was some sort of a bounce previously for the FTSE 100 index, but now the dominant momentum is still to the downside, and the situation is no more different for other European indices as well, whether we are speaking of DAX, CAC, IBEX and FTSE MIB. In fact, the DAX index is down well over 200 points today. Again, it's because of the dismal economic numbers that we are continuously seeing from these countries. And secondly, it was this element that there's a lot of hope was pinned on this particular factor, that Gilead Science is working on this particular medicine, which is going to help patients, as with the COVID-19 patients, but the data didn't confirm that. And because of that, the sentiment got massively hit. And remember, we also had the US weekly jobless claim numbers yesterday as well. Now the total jobless claim, the total labor market over in the US shows that well over 20 million people are without jobs. Obviously, it is going to continue to add this negative pessimism for the equity market, and this is the reason that the Dow Jones index, as you can see in the chart, closed pretty much flat yesterday. It gave up most of its gain what it had yesterday, and the index is also expected to open lower today as well, because when I look at the US futures, they are trading to the downside today. Now, moving on to commodity markets, yes, there is another 2% gain for the Brent and for the WTI prices, but the gains are again very minuscule, because we are only talking about less than 50 points for West Texas for the June contract. And there is nothing changed with respect to fundamentals, and especially when we talk about supply and demand, because we haven't had anything new, whether the demand has picked up all of a sudden or whether supply has, someone has just curtailed supply massively. No, nothing has happened on that front. I think that the bounce that we are seeing in oil prices is very much of a dead cat bounce, and it is pruned for a further downside risk, and then that downside move we can see as early as next week. So keep an eye on that. Keep an eye especially on the front month contract, which is the WTI West Texas crude oil June contract, because that is pruned to the most amount of a downside risk as compared to Brent. Now, shifting the gears, going into the precious metal, speaking of gold, specifically over here, the metal is still holding on to its 1700 mark, which is certainly a positive sign. As you can see in the chart, the momentum is still skewed to the upside for the gold prices, and as long as that remains in place, I think the door is widely open, is wide open for the prices to go and touch that critical level of 1800. But remember, as always, you can protect your upward and downward position by using AvaProtect. That's all for today, folks. Stay safe, stay home, and we will see you guys next week.